Hi guys, Elle here. Happy Lunasa too. So I have probably a real quick tarot deck review for you today. It's the original Steampunk Tarot, a Major Arcana Project. This is a Game Crafter deck that came out last year in 2015. I just got it, like 3 months ago or so now. It's only $15. It's a very inexpensive deck, but it is, the Major Arcana only 22 cards. And I showed it briefly during my Tarot Collection update video, but I wanted to do a whole walkthrough, because it really is a special deck. I've been having so much fun with it. There's a lot of really, really cool details, and things that they just did a little bit differently with this deck. They say it's based on Rider-Waite-Smith Major Arcana, and you could see that it reads beautifully for a deck that has images that weren't created for this deck, that come from other places. It works. It reminds me a lot of the Decadent Dream Tarot in that it's not collaged together to create something very appropriate for the tarot card. It is what it is, and just so happens to work in a really cool way with that tarot card. So what the deck utilizes is prints from the 19th century Victorian era. There's no, like I said, it's not collage, there's no computer manipulation, there's no Photoshop. And they just have this really cool theme to them, this age of steam, this Victorian steampunk awesomeness. So, alright, let me show you guys the box here. This is the box it comes in. It's your standard tuck box. Opens like that. Say Game Crafter. Yeah, it says the Game Crafter in there, and if you can see it, Game Crafter. What's on the sides here? Images of steamships and flying ships and railroads, locomotives, all that kind of stuff. That's the Tower card actually on the back there, isn't it? Yeah. So your standard tuck box, it doesn't come with any sort of a little white book or anything else about the deck. There isn't even a separate website that I could find for this deck. It's just on the Game Crafter website. I'll put a link to this deck specifically, and also I'll put a link up to the Facebook page for this deck. But that's pretty much the only other information I could find on this deck out there at all. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. This is the little canvas bag I've decided to keep my little Majors Only deck in. Whoop, you got a sneak peek. So this is the back of the cards if I hold them upright. This deck is really friggin' cool. That's the same image from the front of the box. That's the back of the cards actually. And they're viewed sort of long ways. I've been having so much fun taking pictures of this deck. Like it's a really cool deck. So it's not my favorite, really, in all truthfulness, to have such a busy back, especially when the fronts are just as busy. It's sort of the same issue I had with the Kai Manette, the Chez Manette Tarot, where the backs are beautiful, but they're very reminiscent of the fronts of the cards. So it's easy to get confused and have cards facing the wrong way on accident. And I have done that a little bit with this deck, but it is what it is. Alright guys, here is your Fool. I'm going to turn him sideways so you can see him, but they do have a little black border. I edged my deck in black too, because the black border is on the outside also. And then there's this little sort of see-through strip at the bottom where you have your titles. And then there's a little box of like a see-through whiteout sort of thing going on with the number at the top of the card. So that is there on the top and the bottom, no matter which direction the picture faces. I did count. There's 8 cards out of the 22 that are viewed sideways. And it's fun. In my readings, I'll turn them sideways, and it makes interesting things happen in your spread, and it's been really neat. So this one actually turns this way. The Fool card turns counterclockwise, I noticed, and the other 7 cards that are facing sideways all need to be turned the opposite direction. They all turn like clockwise to get them to be face up, or to get them to be like right side up. So I don't know if that was intentional. It's cool that it happens to be the Fool card. That's the only like odd man out. So I'm gonna go with, yeah, that was intentional. So this stuff is probably impossible to read on the camera. It's actually hard to read the writing in person. It's so small, but it does create a really cool effect, doesn't it? Look at all the machines and everything, flying people. Like this guy right here, he's saying, "You low-level rascal, why don't you burn refined charcoal?" It's all sort of stuff like that. This one's the curse the fire, is it out? Yeah, stuff like that. Like they're just yelling things at each other. Foolishly, perhaps. But you can get lost in these cards. There's definitely something, see what I mean? Like this one, they're both upright now, but this one has to be turned this way to be upright, and this one has to be turned that way to be upright. But the Fool is the only one that goes counterclockwise. So anyway, their Magician upright looks like that. And then to look at him this way, he's there. I actually really like this Magician too. Or these Magicians. They capture something, these cards. I'm not a big fan of that popular Barbara Moore Steampunk Tarot. I don't know if it's the artwork or there's something about it I really do like. Like the girls in that deck are like so kick-ass and their outfits are badass. But it's, to me, maybe it's missing this back in time feeling, and that's one of the things I really love about the whole steampunk idea. And it's your High Priestess. You know, it's this glimpse of times gone by. Anachronistic times gone by, but still. I love the feeling of interconnectedness you get from this Empress card. With all the wires. I feel like I'm in another time, another world. Your Emperor. Here's your Hierophant, number 5. Yeah, they all have the classic Rider-Waite-Smith ordering and titles. Isn't that cool for the Hierophant? He's like in his own little flying contraption and bagging a bird. It was just kind of a beautiful metaphor, I think, for the Hierophant. Here's number 6, your Lovers. I think this one's really cool too. It feels, Rider-Waite-Smith with the couples and everything, but there's, a third person in each couple, which really makes my head go Marseille. Like they just got married and whatnot. Like they're dressed as a bride and groom. Aren't they amazing? Here's number 7, your Chariot. And I love, love, love that the Chariot just plowed down another fucking chariot. And they're having a fight. A good old-fashioned fight. Your Strength upright. This is probably my favorite card. It's so moody, atmospheric. It's like the squid or octopus, whatever that thing is the lion, and the lion is not very tamed at the moment. I think with all the interesting technologies and inventions and things here, it feels like there's this industrious ingenuity that's been captured. It's like this elegant opulence, too. That's how they describe the deck on the website. Elegant opulence. Wheel of Fortune. I love that it's the balloon tied down with the clock. Slap a clock on any Wheel of Fortune, call it a day. It works. And here is Justice's 11. Turn them. It's like a copper, or coppers catching the... Looks like a little wino there. And here's your Hanged Man. Love that card too. It's like a recurring nightmare I have where I'm like, I don't know if that's a bridge or like the Eiffel Tower building. It must be, not a bridge. I have like a similar feeling though from this recurring nightmare I have where I'm like trapped on top of a bridge that looks very much like that. I can feel like the fear of heights and the wind whipping. I feel like I'm hanging right there with him. Oh, this is an amazing card. Check this out. This is the Death card. It actually says down there, Death, the doctor's enemy. And then he's holding all sorts of really cool stuff. No genuine goods, substitutes only. It says Fred Smith and Co. Manufacturing chemists. Their motto is quantity over quality. Look at his head with his little monocle. How cool is that Death card? Good Steampunk Tarot. Here is your Temperance card. This card actually really is beautiful. Don't you want to just hop on? I like the little butterfly dude over here too. Pure fucking magic. Love it. This Devil card is amazing also. Check that out. 15. He's offering her a gift. Yes, he is. Oh, that sly devil. Isn't that a cool way to look at the Devil card instead of just being a devil? Like he's actually luring someone. Making a deal with the devil. Now, the Tarot card I kind of thought was strange at first. It's not a scene of destruction in any way, shape, or form. It's just a cool looking fucking party tower kind of deal. And I like it. I think it's beautiful. Nothing exploding, no lightning, no fire. There's your Star card. She's even in like a propeller shell with doves on leashes and stuff, but it still feels very steampunky because of all that. Oh, here's your Moon card. Turn it. It goes that way. Isn't that magic? Look at the moon's face. What the fuck? And your Sun card. She's like got a magnifying glass with the rays of the sun. It looks like she's like destroying the Middle East, actually. Something's going on there. And there's a bunch of bees all over too. Isn't that beautiful? So I do have Judgment. I do have a video up from just a couple weeks ago talking about how to use, or how I use my Majors Only decks. So check that out if you're interested in learning more about maybe just using a Major Arcana or a Majors Only deck. You obviously would never, ever in your life need to get a Majors Only deck. That World's card. Because all you have to do is take whatever tarot deck you have and separate out the majors, but decks like this are beautiful and they're still useful. I think they're wonderful. And back to our Fool. And that's the backs of the cards. This is the original Steampunk Tarot, you guys. I will put links to everything down below. Hope you guys enjoyed that little tour, and I will see y'all real soon. Bye, guys.